Okay, so there should be a lot of blow-ups on these sheets, especially if you have a real big plan like we have here. And the blow-ups are where you would find all the technical data. I think the previous sets we had, there wasn't many blow-ups in there from what I've seen. The next building, we're going to have a lot of them, and a lot of sections and a lot of elevations, so that your job is a little easier, you know what to look at. So from here, you know, you got all the floor plans, they all have the same information, blow-up sections, you just follow it through. And that's how you get the overall feeling for it, but the construction of it begins when you get to the details. So all the things that are really difficult should be called out. You know, like this is a basic entry detail. You should have one of these for every entryway. It's showing your glazing, it's showing the connections, it should have all the metal studs in there. You know, it shows you got a masonry wall back here, existing building. It should have all the details that you need to be able to put that building together. So you should have blow-ups in, you know, 1/4 inch details for all these areas that need to be built out. Within here you have your wall types called out. That should lead you to the wall types in the back of the set. You know, the section views, if you want greater detail of how that goes together, you go to that. You should have your doors called out. Basic information as to what's going on. And that should be the beginning of what you would do on a daily basis. So you really have to flip through a bunch of sheets to really understand how to get what's done. Because even these pieces get blown up eventually, so that every little piece, even on this scale, this isn't big enough in this scale to really show you what to do for that connection. So we keep breaking it down further and further until everything is really clear. Now this might give you some understanding, and if you've been on the job long enough, you can look at that and say, okay, I get it, move on. But when you're first starting, you know, especially when you're dealing with things that are complicated like canopies and wall penetrations and such, and we'll have a lot of these at Oakdale, you'll need to understand how they finally go together. So we have both the enlarged details in the plan views and in the section views. So we'll just keep plugging through. You know, some typical roof details. There are a lot of standards that go on all the time. You have overflow sumps and then sumps. Some of the stuff is just typical, you know, mechanical units on the roof. So we can throw those on there, and it has some pretty simplified versions of how you put the roof together, and really just trying to keep the water out. So as you move on, you get bigger and bigger details, which should be building or should be cut at every time there's a material change. You should have a stone cut, you should have a brick cut, you should have an ephes cut, you should finally have the final cut